boxers, and you can see Riddick Bowe is perfect as a pro.
Riddick Bowe 29-0, and we are pretty much set and ready for the introductions of this 10-round heavyweight tussle. We're going to send you up to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official introduction.
Well, fans, here we go. This bout coming your way features the big man of the sport, heavyweights in action in this 10-round special attraction. First, introducing the judges appointed at ringside, we have Chuck Giampa, Al Siciliano, Paul Smith, and the referee in charge will be giving instructions, Toby Gibson. Well, fans, introducing to you first on my left. He is fighting out of the red corner. He entered the ring wearing blue trunks and hailing from Houston, Texas. He weighed in at 229 pounds with a record of 17 wins, 13 losses, 1 draw. He has 8 wins by way of knockout. Welcome a fighter they call Everett, Bigfoot Martin. And his opponent across the ring. On my right, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round heavyweight special attraction, he is wearing white trunks with red trim and fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 235 pounds with an outstanding record of 29 wins, no losses, 25 wins by way of knockout. He is the WBC Continental America's champion, ranked the #2 heavyweight contender in the world by the WBC, introducing the undefeated Riddick Bowe. Once again, here's your referee in charge, Toby Gibson.
Okay, gentlemen, I've given you both your instructions in your respective dressing rooms. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Eddie, you're going to be the chief second. Who's the chief second in this corner? You're the chief second? Okay, gentlemen, in the event of a mouthpiece, I'm going to try to toss to your corner. Obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you.
Well, the tape on this one quite intriguing, because to say that Riddick Bowe has a height and reach advantage is the understatement of the decade, and of course he has a youth advantage as well, and Everett Martin almost the same weight, but that isn't necessarily good for him since he's 5'11".
And hard to believe, but he actually started his career in the middleweight division, so he's eaten his way through the middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, and he's into the heavyweights. Everett Bigfoot Martin, Riddick Big Daddy Bowe, who has not been too busy about going long into fights, first, second, third round knockouts the past year. He says he wants some work tonight, Al.
Yeah, and Everett Martin is likely to give him a little bit more. Elijah Tillery and Conroy Nelson, who fought Tillery twice, won that bizarre situation where Tillery
was kickboxing, wasn't it?
Oh, Tillery was disqualified, and some other things happening during the course of that match that didn't do boxing any good. Fighters being dragged out of the ring, etc. And of course, his very good win over Bruce Seldon, which was a big win for him. The only fight in which people have been less than excited about Riddick Bowe's performance was the 10-round win over Tony Tubbs, in which he did not perform as well as I think he would like, and to his credit, Tubbs fought very well.
There has been a question about his heart, his dedication, but Eddie Futch has been stated numerous times that he feels very strong about this gentleman, and this is probably Eddie's last hurrah with a very serious contender at age 79.
Oh, look at the power. He's got Martin hurt already. The one thing you can, Martin landing a good hook, but he is not the puncher, I don't think, that you have to be to hurt Riddick Bowe. The two heavyweights, young heavyweights around, that I think have the punching power to knock people out with one punch. Well, Tommy Morrison does too, even though he's got some other deficiencies he's working on, would be Bowe and Lennox Lewis.
What are your thoughts on a fight, Al, that you want some work, you hurt a guy, and you back off to get the work, and then you take a test that this guy might come on like Martin's trying to?
Well, I'll tell you what, in this match, what's happening is Bowe is going after him, but Bigfoot Martin is landing some pretty good counter punches, some left hooks. Now, obviously, Bowe feels he can do that against him because Martin's not a big puncher. Riddick Bowe's really not the kind of guy that I think is going to deliberately pace himself and get a lot of rounds. I just don't. I think he's a puncher. A boxer puncher, to be sure, but a man with such power that he almost has to throw those punches hard. And I think he should. Because if he's going to beat the likes of a Holyfield, he's going to do it with power.
It's a big man, 6'5", weighed in today at 235. and the most gifted man in the heavyweight division is, from the talent standpoint, many people feel. And as Al mentioned at the top of the show, biding his time, marking time, waiting for his shot.
We should mention, in addition to Vander Hoek, who's still champion.
Yeah. Big right hand by Everett, snaps back the head of Riddick Bowe. Mike got his attention there.
You can almost feel that Bowe knows Martin isn't going to hurt him too badly, or at least he thinks that. So he's taking some punches he might not otherwise take, standing with his hands very low. You know, the one thing that gets underestimated by Bowe is his hand speed, which is pretty good.
So in the 88 Olympics, big right hand, really pulls the trigger in that right hand quite well. First round is over. 7-inch height advantage is mere leverage. When Riddick Bowe starts hitting down on people, you have the gravitational pull plus his punching power. It's unfair.
Let's write our congressman about it, shall we?
That'll get things moving, I'm sure.
Yeah. Assuming they're not writing any checks. Did I say that? No. Oh my God. Thank God this is pay-per-view.
Round number 2, scheduled 10-rounder. Riddick, Big Daddy Bowe, Everett, Bigfoot Martin, 2 big men. In the first round, Riddick Bowe looked very, very sharp. Everett landed a couple legitimate shots to hang in there. And certainly, when it comes to the talent quota, certainly has to lean heavily in the favor of the 29-0 #1 ranked heavyweight, Riddick Bowe. Riddick Lamont Bowe, I might add.
Now, if Martin is to do some good for himself in this match, I think the inside is where he ought to be. He's shorter, he's got there, and that's what I mean. That is where he needs to be. If he can stay off Bowe's chest, he can do some good.
Eddie Futch feels that Bowe is merely tapping his potential, about at 50% potential, and hoping to corral a world title shot for him by the end of the year. He and Rock Newman, who can be rather pushy as well. The right hand is there.
He can be.
Yeah.
Now here's Martin on the inside, and you can see he can get some things done there. Whether it's enough to win this match is another question. But if you keep him in this, see, neutralizing the power of Bowe at that point.
Just smothering him. In round 2.
And Toby Gibson, a good and fair-minded referee, will not make it harder on a Martin on the inside. He holds a lot, he will call it, but he won't start penalizing him in 2 seconds for it.
25 of the 29 wins by Riddick Bowe have ended by way of KO, including his last 4 fights.
That is a no-no, though. Everett Martin cannot lunge in because Bowe will hit him with the uppercut, of which he has a very good one.
There are a lot of very talented heavyweights out there, and all milling around in the top 10. You might mention Michael Moore, Ray Mercer, Razor Ruddick, Lennox Lewis. They're all out there.
Ruddick, kind of the forgotten man in the mix.
Big shots by Riddick Bowe, but the Bigfoot just staying right in his face.
He's a tough guy. And see, he gets his little counter shots in. If he gives Bowe punching him, though, of course, he's got a huge problem.
Nice jab by Riddick Bowe, getting the crowd into it here.
And the aforementioned Pierre Kocher, who we mentioned at the beginning of the show, who Bowe will likely face next, had to go 10 before dispatching Everett Bigfoot Martin.
George Foreman had to go 10 with the Bigfoot.
Pierre Kocher fought him in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Not exactly a hotbed of boxing.
Hey, blue trunks is Everett Bigfoot Martin. North Carolina fans will appreciate that. And white with red is Riddick Bowe. Heavily favored, I might add.
And Everett's not even a Tar Heel, is he?
No, he's from Houston, Texas. Always been down there.
That's a cougar, isn't it?
Wild story, Eddie Futch. Actually, Riddick Bowe recruited him. I want you to train me. And Eddie said, you got to show me that you want it. And so far, Riddick Bowe has done that.
Well, I'm sure Riddick Bowe's sick of hearing about it, but, you know, the buzz when he turned pro was that he just quit against Lennox Lewis, that he didn't feel like he could win that fight. And that's why Eddie Futch, I think, felt he wanted to be shown by Riddick Bowe that he could do it. Certainly, Bowe has performed extremely well as a pro and worked hard.
Would you be safe to assume that Riddick Bowe has come a lot farther than Lennox Lewis since August of '88?
Well, yes and no, but he may have had farther to come. Lewis has not fought badly. And I think both of them have improved their skill level. There's no question. Bowe possibly a little bit more.
Let's go. No hold. Box it out. Come on.
They're both punchers, and should they meet in the ring again, somebody will go.
Riddick Bowe on the attack here in round number 3. Pace slowing down just a little bit. Riddick Bowe staying outside, as Eddie Futch had instructed between rounds 2 and 3. Do your damage from outside. Do not get caught in those uptight clinches. That's where the Bigfoot has done his most damage midway through round number 3, and the pupil has listened quite well, and with good reason.
Now, Riddick Bowe has, and now here, Toby Gibson is letting them fight on the inside. He says, box your way out if you have to. And now he's giving warnings, not making it impossible. That's fair refereeing. Not making it impossible for Martin to fight on the inside, yet not penalizing Bowe if Martin should start holding a lot.
Fine line there so far. Toby Gibson's done a very, very commendable job.
He's good at that. That's one part of his refereeing that's really excellent.
Body shot to a not real hard body, we might add.
Let him go.
And Bowe is a good body puncher, though some maybe feel like he doesn't do enough of it.
Certainly, if you had to construct a boxer, you might want to take a look at Riddick Bowe. Size, speed, strength.
For a heavyweight. Good left hook. There's that counter left from Martin. And, you know, that's part of, as they look at these tapes, and he and Eddie Futch, you know, look at them carefully, they won't like that. They won't like the idea that that counter left was getting in, because there's a guy out there, and the counter right, there's a guy out there named Holyfield who has an excellent counter left hook, and they don't want that to land on the head of Riddick Bowe.
Brandon Holyfield's scheduled for the June 19th showdown with the former heavyweight champ, Larry Holmes. As things start to shake down a little bit in the heavyweight division. A lot of talent there. We'd like to see some more important matchups.
Not again, huh?
Yeah.
That's what started the Elijah Tillery problem.
Yeah, and that turned into the kickboxing event of the year. We are at the Riviera Hotel and Casino. Hugh Millay and Al Bernstein, Pedro Fernandez ringside as we bring you all the action. Check in on the challenger for the Quest for Glory. That is Donnie Golden Boy Lalonde, as he gets taped up by Ralph Citro, man who puts out the most informative boxing book you ever want to look at.
More than you ever need to know.
You'll ever need, but it's always there. There's the matchup. It's our main event, the Quest for Glory. Bobby Chez, Donnie Golden Boy Lalonde, scheduled for 12 rounds. It's for the WBA Cruiserweight Championship, and the crowd is waiting in anticipation of that. And of course, they're waiting for the Big Daddy to add another notch to his belt, although every Bigfoot Martin has some other ideas.
Well, they forgot to put his mouthpiece in.
Just a minor detail.
Small point. In the old days, they would not have allowed that to take place. The boxer would have had to go out without his mouthpiece, which gets a good rule change.
And you stay away from the salty foods for about a month.
That's exactly it.
We are in round number 4. This is scheduled for a 10-rounder, and Everett Bigfoot Martin showing a lot of aggression at the end of round number 3 and trying to keep up the heat here in round number 4.
He's doing some nice body work, and this is what he wants. Smother Riddick Bowe, and at least keep yourself in the fight, because you're not going to get knocked out if he can't hit you with those big bombs. You may not win, but you're going to give a representative performance. And right around this point now, Riddick Bowe has landed some fairly big shots against Martin, and Martin is not going anywhere.
Keep up, Riddick.
And that can be frustrating.
Most people, after about 2 or 3 rounds of the pressure from Riddick Bowe, decide to look for a place to hide. But Bigfoot's been in with some big boys, as we mentioned, George Foreman, Kyle Wee, and Michael Moore most recently, and always is right there in the face. I did the Johnny Deploy fight back in '88, and Deploy hit him with some big shots and finally took him out in the, I think it was the 7th or 8th round, and it was like face down. So Everett doesn't go down easily.
Probably Everett's biggest win was over Bert Cooper when they were both cruising. Oh, big hook. And he got some leverage into that.
And I think Riddick Bowe is...
I think he was a little shook by that punch. Hard to tell, of course, but...
Could be one of those gut check times that become important for Riddick Bowe.
Well, Everett Martin did not come here to lay down. You can see that. He did not come here to be another statistic and a notch in Riddick Bowe's belt. And Bowe's having a hard time landing that big right hand of his.
Everett Martin, after a very strong start by Riddick Bowe in the first round, in the second round, things started to go a little more his way, and he's fought pretty much straight up. And we're in round number 4. And Riddick Bowe, who is looking for some work, is getting that work. maybe would like to end the night, but right now does not look like he's ready to do that.
Stop punching.
Martin is doing a very good job of avoiding the Bowe right hand, and right now Riddick, which he didn't do earlier, is getting into a little bit too much of a one-dimensional attack. And against a veteran like Martin, who is a fairly good defensive fighter, you can't do that.
Inside 20 seconds in round number 4, and
Clean inside. Watch them hit.
This might be a round that Everett Martin has won.
we'll have to check in with Pedro on that to see how the scorecards are coming along.
He is throwing good shots. The jab of Bowe, and that's been a good weapon all through his career.
With an 82-inch reach, certainly one of the longest reaches in the division. We're going to take a look at Pedro Fernandez's scorecard through 4 rounds. Many people didn't think we'd get that deep in the fight, but Pedro's keeping score. Pedro?
Well, I've got it to 40-37 scoring the 4th round even. I thought Bigfoot Martin had some moments in that round. I think Big Daddy Bowe is not using the double jab. He's not using his reach. He's not using the 6'5" of height that God gave him. He's fighting Everett Bigfoot Martin's fight. Now, I'm not saying he'll lose this fight, but he's making the fight harder for himself than it has to be.
We take a look at the corner. Ralph Citro and Eddie Futch. We're ready for round number 5. It's Hugh Millay and Al Bernstein. Pedro Fernandez are ringside. And Riddick Bowe came to Las Vegas looking for some fighting, and he's gotten it. More than he maybe bargained for. There becomes a confidence thing here, too, with Bigfoot. Don't you feel that he is far more confident, a little more aggressive than he was early in the fight, Al?
Yeah, and it's not, the thing he's doing is he's searching for things that will work for him, and he's found that when he gets on the inside, he can work the body and the head like that, and he certainly has found that left hook. Now, Everett Bigfoot Martin doesn't have the greatest left hook in the world. He slaps it a little bit, but it's fairly quick, and it's getting there against Bowe. Whenever Bowe throws that right hand.
Big combination by Riddick Bowe. Looks like he is trying to turn up the heat here.
Now, how Everett Martin reacts to that right hand is going to be significant, because that was a major league right hand by Bowe, as good as he can throw. We'll see if it hurt Martin.
Some great action here in round number 5. Bowe throwing some nice combinations, and Everett just throwing, Bigfoot Martin throwing just enough to keep Bowe from just winging away.
And now Bowe using the jab very effectively, and look, it's setting up the right hand. Now that right hand is landing.
Riddick Bowe turning the tide here in round number 5. Almost won South border. That was in South Carolina.
Martin is forgetting a little bit, when Bowe missed the right hand, he's forgetting to come with that left hook or not able to do it.
You made a good point earlier that you think Riddick Bowe goes a little too much to the head, and it's almost like that's the only part of the body he's gone to this round.
And he's a very good body puncher, and when he's effective, he does throw more downstairs, but once in a while, and nobody's perfect, obviously, once in a while he'll just not do that.
He's only 24 years of age as Riddick Bowe, and going to be 25 later this year. Certainly a man at that size and weight, and ranked in the top 5 by all the governing bodies in the heavyweight division, waiting his turn.
Nice hooks on the inside by Martin. He is cranking up that punch. He doesn't have huge power in it. Nice, but Bowe shows you his hook as well. But if they stay on the inside and it's a battle of hooks, Everett Martin can hang in this fight.
Nice uppercut by Riddick Bowe in round number 5. Another good uppercut. Goes to the body nicely.
You know what this bout is starting to remind me of? Lennox Lewis against Levi Billups. And Lennox could not put him out. Oh, look.
Riddick, get your glove taped. Riddick,
Riddick
get your
Bowe,
glove taped.
the tape on his, I believe it's his right glove. Or
Get that glove taped.
there's a cut over the left eye of Everett Bigfoot Martin. Is that what they're attending to?
Yeah. I wonder if that happened because the glove had some tape loose.
You have a conversation.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, that's it. Never mind the glove.
That is going to be a...
Never mind, let's go.
They're going to call this fight off.
Because of the cut.
Over the left.
That is a bad cut. Now, we haven't got a chance to take a perfect look at it. But Dr. Homansky asked him if he's having trouble seeing, and I guess Martin must have said yes, and he said that's enough.
Riddick Big Daddy Bowe getting carried away, literally, by his opponents. And we did not see that. And we will try to pick it up on replay for you, but we got about a minute and a half to go in round number 5. And a cut over, I believe it was the right eye of Everett Bigfoot Martin, and the left eye, according to Pedro Fernandez, and it is a left eye, right on his eyelid, and those are impossible to stop.
Well, that cut was, that's almost an impossible cut to stop right there, yeah. Big cut, Martin, you are probably going to let it go a couple more rounds, but you have to realize it wasn't in the fight.
There it is. There's a tight shot of the cut over the left eyelid of Everett Bigfoot Martin, and a gentleman who certainly was putting on a good display of boxing, giving Riddick Bowe a very, very tough night of it. These things do happen. All right, we're going to take a look at the right hand, and
what was the score?
it was, there it is, possibly the lacing doing the cut over the right eye. There's a nice replay. And quickly the ringside doctor came in and called it quits. We're going to be sending it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official time of that stoppage, as they take the gloves off of Everett Bigfoot Martin. A very, very credible performance by him, and a disappointing cut in the 5th round. There's Riddick Big Daddy Bowe. He'll up his mark to 30-0, and we'll see what's on his KO calendar as we check in with Al Bernstein up in the ring in just a second. Still to come, of course, our main event. That is the WBA Cruiserweight title. That is the quest for glory. Bobby Ches and Donnie Golden.
8 seconds in round number 5. The referee in charge, Toby Gibson, stops the contest on advice of the ringside physician, Dr. Flip Homansky. The winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated, Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Big Daddy Bowe posting win number 3-0, 30-0. Marked at 26 KOs.